sound can be back on now. Very good. Now, still have 3 minutes. And let's see, 3 minutes. 3 minutes should do nicely as far as who gets what. Okay. Mm, this is going to be interesting. Yes, it is. All I know is I'm trying to complete the task set before me as a light worker who enjoys her job. And there we are. And I'm going to be taking some deep breaths of my own. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Boy, the wonders of technology and dealing with during this marvelous time of retrograde, etc., etc. And Sharon, right now, you're talking to yourself. You're unofficially talking to yourself. In a moment, I will be officially talking to the omniverse. Just in a moment. And I need to make this sound in the background as minimal as possible. And there we have it. And let's see. And I'm going to turn the sound off while I do this. Now, 7:30, and it is time for me to be me. And good evening, And I have no idea if anyone is listening, and that's quite all right because uh, it being itself grammatically incorrect, this energy that we're going through right now, is is absolutely magnificent. First of all, good energy, marvelous energy. This is Reverend Sharon. In case I forgot to mention that, sometimes I do forget my own name, but not often. Um, and this is You Are a Healer. And the countdown that we are electrifying ourselves for this evening is wow. We have the closing, the official closing of the Lion's Gate coming up this Monday. And so what that means basically is that the energy that we have received is not only in place, but we do understand, I'm sure most people do understand, that whatever we are focusing on and concentrating on at this particular point in time is coming through. So, with that in mind, I have been instructed, we can say that, uh, to bring about some reminders about basically what's going on. The reminders really, the only purpose they serve is that we take heart in what we're doing. We maintain faith in what we're doing. I know different levels of feelings and emotions that have been going on with people that have been experiencing the energies, the four planets in retrograde. I'm not even going to name them because with some people, just hearing the names of some planets, they go into panic and it's unnecessary. Um, right now, and you might hear my phone beeping from time to time because I've just sent out the link for tonight, and sometimes in panic and response, I get a lot of flashback, and so just bear with me for a moment. There we go. Okay, and that being done, and that being said, more or less, just move the screen right out of the way, and there we go. Ah, okay. I think I forgot somebody, but that's all right. Um, they will come in when they're supposed to and not before. Okay. Now, what we're going to do this evening is basically, as I said, just reminders of things that we can do and that we can expect during this time period. We're going to start out with breathing. Just take a deep breath through the nostrils. Hopefully, you're sitting in a very comfortable position and breathe through the nostrils, taking in as much light as you possibly can and breathe. Again, in through the nostrils and releasing it through parted lips. And we're going to hold the breath the next time it goes in for at least 7 counts. And breathe again. Okay. And breathe. Alrighty. And once again, this is just to help level the playing field, as they say. Mm. And I've always wondered what that phrase is supposed to mean, but I suppose leveling the playing field, leveling the playing field is that, yeah, you did hear those beeps, is what one does when basically you're in this position, this new position of understanding. And so you bring yourself around to that position and you understand yourself and you breathe, breathing as deeply as you possibly can, holding it for the count of 7. And we breathe, relaxing and enjoying the energies that are coming through. One should not be fearful of anything. Whatever you hear, whatever does not resonate with your inner self, your higher self. My voice is going to sound very low for a second. Um, just take it in and take it to light. We know that there are energies that exist that are not for our highest good. We don't focus on those energies. Not focusing on them, holding ourselves within the light of divine love is much more productive than gathering the energy of anger. Okay, so if you guys know me, you know that I've got tons of sage burning in the background. So if you
It's a 550. 550 is a 550.
Good evening, Reverend Sharon. Sharon.
Oh, wow. You could not hear me. Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I am sorry. I am so sorry. I've been talking for the last, what is it, 30 minutes? Talking to myself. I muted myself and did not see it muted back again. So glad to see that you stuck with me. Mm, interesting. Well, I read off the planets that are in retrograde right now. There is Mercury and Mars and Venus, the lovely, and let's see who else. Jupiter is also in retrograde. Well, no, Jupiter is out of retrograde right now, but Saturn is in retrograde right now until the 26th of this month, and so it's riding the wave with the solar eclipse, and so what we're going to do basically is just focus on being prepared. The energy that is coming through right now, we can use that energy to manifest whatever our heart's desire is. And this is going to be in the book that I'm in the middle of writing, and it's just that every time I finish a chapter, I come up with something else that I should add. Bottom line, um, if it is your intention to use the energy that's coming through, major amounts of energy, not just the Lion's Gate, not just the four planets that are in retrograde, uh, but the solar eclipse as well, which we'll be able to see in South Florida between 1 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm told that that's going to what's the name of the planetarium? It's you're going to be able to see some of it, not all of it, but some of it from here. Uh, that is
The
bringing
ma-
about. I'm sorry, sweetie.
oh, I was just gonna say the majority of it. I heard 80% visible in South
Yeah,
Florida.
I heard 70 to 80%. Yeah, this has energy that we can use also, and so for people who are not familiar with what I mean by using the energy, if you're familiar with the concept of the burning bowl, this is tapping into energy that we cannot see. Okay, frequencies of energy. Um, when, for instance, if you've ever done a burning bowl ceremony, you know that you write down what it is that you're trying to release from your life, and you burn that, and then you follow that up with writing down uh, what it is that you desire to bring into your life, and then you burn that. It's something that's usually done on New Year's Eve, but I know that it's a ritual that's also practiced during other times of the year. It again is dependent upon your intention, and you're pulling upon the energies that we know is there, but we can't see them. Like, we're made from frequencies of energies that we don't see, but they're there. Okay. If any of those energies uh, disappeared, so would we. So we have this opportunity right now with the energies that are present, the vibrations that are resonating throughout our timeline right now. We have this opportunity that if we want to release something that no longer serves a purpose in our life, we can do that now. You can write it down on a piece of paper, write down what you're releasing, and then write on a separate piece of paper what you're trying to bring in to your life essence. In participating in this particular ritual, if possible, You don't have to, but if possible, wear white. For people who are like really into practicing rituals, there may be something that they do, clearing of themselves before they put on the white. I know that's part of my landscape. Uh, Usually when I go on the air with you guys, I'm in white, and you know from my complaints, I'm burning some sort of incense. Uh, and so that's something that I would also suggest that you do to follow through on releasing what it is that no longer belongs to you. It's not serving any purpose for you. If you want, it's a good time to take out your crystals. And the crystal suggested for this type of ritual would be selenite. It is a powerful uh, crystal that is it. It appears delicate because water dissolves it. However, it is not. It is one of the few crystals that does not need to be cleared when you use it in uh, balancing different energy fields. If you're someone who uses crystals to balance the energy fields of auras, which I've done from time to time, it's part of the purpose of the wands that I've made. Selenite is the stone that you would use. It doesn't have to be in a wand formation. You can get long pieces of it that they call wands. I have mine wrapped in copper, and you can use it to clear your own auric field with your own aura. You just start at the top of your head, at the fontanelle, and you radiate it down, and you clear yourself. If you need to cut cords, do that. But this is about bringing into your life the vibrations of energies that you desire, if it's money or whatever it is, um, written down on that piece of paper. We're going to get to when we burn that. Written down on that piece of paper. What new jobs, whatever it is, written down on that piece of paper. You can fold that paper towards you. Now, I was taught growing up when you're doing works like that. Yes, my parents taught me how to do works low level. I might be considered a first level shaman. Depends on who you're talking to. But whenever you desire something or some situation to come in your favor, and you do what is called a seal or a sigil, you always fold the paper towards you. When you're putting money into your purse or your wallet, you always fold it towards you. You never fold it away. That's the same thing for checks, for anything that is going to be in your favor. Say you've gotten a gift from someone, they've sent you a marvelous letter, they've sent you a certificate, whatever you want to continue to bring the energy towards you, you always fold it in your direction. And you only fold away from yourself when you're trying to get things away from you. Negative energies, you don't want to fold that towards you. So, with the first piece of paper, you're going to release these situations and whatever from you. You're going to fold that piece of paper away from you. The second piece of paper, the one that you're trying to bring in, uh, the more positive energies, whatever is for your highest good, you're going to fold that towards you. Okay. Um, my suggestion, and again, with the book, once people start reading the book, I'm going to probably have on every page. You don't have to do anything that I say. Whatever I suggest is uh, for you to elaborate on. If while you're reading it, you get a better idea, use that. Always keep in mind your intention, that your intention is for your highest good and for the highest good of whomever you're including in what you're going to be doing. So, uh, next step in this, hopefully, if you should have a candle or something, you've got to bring in the light. Okay. So, I'm assuming that most of the people that I talk with, I've been trying to keep it on the level of they're familiar with what an altar is. I know that you have one, Sherry, right? Right.
Yes.
I know that you have one, right, Caroline?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so on the altar, we're going to keep candles that are going to assist in bringing in the best positive energy for us. And so in this particular instance, you're dressed in white, the candle is white. Okay. Whatever or however you acquaint yourself with those energies that surround you and work with you, as far as you can call them spirit guides, you can call them uh, guardian angels, uh, ascended masters, masters, who works for you. For instance, for me, I don't say Jesus, I say Yeshua because I feel comfortable with that. That's the name that his mother called him, and it is, I like the way it's spelled, I like the way it sounds. We don't have to take time to go into why Jesus was not his name because there are no J's in Hebrew or Aramaic language. J is a Latin thing, but that's, besides the point. Um, Bottom line, you can call upon the assistance of your entourage. However, I call Archangel Michael and Gabriel and Uriel and Raphael. I call them my Fantastic Four, and they're used to me. I'm a kidder. They're used to me. But whether it's or not you call them, whatever you call them, as long you don't have to call them anything. Call upon the highest intention from your heart. We cannot get away from the heart because the heart is where this energy is actually being directed. All of these energies that are coming into the universe right now, Lionsgate, planets in retrograde, solar eclipse, this is all to generate the heart energy because from the heart energy is where we are receiving the absolute source, the divine creator from within. And our heart has more than one chakra. It has an auric field upon an auric field because we've got the spiritual self, we've got the light body, we've got the spiritual body, we've got the physical body, we've got at least five bodies. Okay. Each one has a heart, each one is connected to the other, and all of them are connected to the hearts of the continuum. All of the hearts of the continuum are connected to divine source. So this particular moment, this event, celestial event, is taking place to help generate and melt some of those hard hearts we got walking around here. And I'm probably leading the line on that sometimes, but we need to melt some of those hard hearts that we have and bring into focus our intention. And our intention at this particular point in time is to bring more light into this time frame, this continuum that we're dealing with, this matrix that we've gotten so fond of. Good evening, sir. How are you? That's okay. Nobody has to talk this evening. This is just channeling through, not to worry. Okay, so as a part of the healing energy that we're dealing with this evening, we've, I don't know if you're taking notes, but if you are, you start with the breathing. If you've got Tibetan bowls, eh, a little music doesn't hurt. Um, you're preparing yourself to generate and receive energy of an extremely powerful nature on a level higher than you've probably received for quite some time. It is suggested that you dress in white, but it's not mandatory. It is suggested that you have white candles on your altar also. Um, Not mandatory, but I strongly suggest it. It is suggested that in order to make use of this energy, the power of this energy that's coming through right now, that you write down what you are releasing from your life right at the moment, folding it away from you, and for whatever you desire to bring in to your life right now, you write that down and fold that piece of paper towards you. Okay. Remember, when you read the book, you'll see my suggestions. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. I'm assuming that your space is cleared. I'm assuming that you're cleared. The affirmation, and if you need healing, put that down on the piece of paper that you are expecting to receive your highest good from. Whatever your ailment, whatever you feel is your physical challenge or your spiritual challenge, write it out. Make it plain, as scripture says, folding it towards you. In front of your altar or your sacred space, wherever that is, you don't have to use the affirmation that I use, but it can go something like this. Um, with this fire, I extinguish all that is no longer necessary within my life. I remove anything that has attached itself to me that is not for my highest good. I bring before the light of all lights my desire to be a clear and productive vessel of the Most High God. And then you burn it with the flame from the candle that's at your altar or your sacred space. Some people I know, they like doing this kind of thing outside under a tree. If that's what you feel, then do that. Not to reorganize or change the way you do things, simply to give you a guideline on being able to seize upon this energy. After you've done that, take a deep breath, hold it for as long as you possibly can, releasing through parted lips. With this energy that you're breathing in now, you're going to be requesting and receiving that which is for your highest good. If you've got backaches, knee aches, whatever it is, you've got a bad cold you're trying to get rid of, whatever it is, that would have gone on the first piece of paper that you've burned. If you're trying to receive more spiritual understanding and discernment, that should be on the paper that's going to be burned next. Um, you're trying to bless everyone within your family, your household. You're blessing your business affairs. You're blessing your finances. You're blessing your spiritual growth. It is a mode of blessing that should be on this next piece of paper. And on this next piece of paper, as you folded it towards yourself and you're ready to place it into the flame, before you do that, take in another deep breath, holding it for as long as you possibly can, releasing it through parted lips, and breathe. And when and as you breathe, light this piece of paper. And this is again a suggestion, it's affirmation. Father, Mother, Divine God, I am grateful for that which you have blessed me with. I am grateful. I am honored to claim and receive the light of your understanding, the light of your divinity. I am honored and I accept this with the highest humility. Not much else needs to be said, at least not by me. If you want to add something to that, then do that. Follow your heart. And also, you want to put into this particular letter or affirmation that you desire to connect your heart with the heart of God. It's one of my goals, part of my agenda. Direct connection with the heart of God. And Caroline, you and I had that discussion earlier, but it's a good discussion to have, especially from within, focusing on the center of spirit within thyself. And so, as that smoke is going up from this last piece of paper that you've burned, and releasing that breath, accepting that whatever is for your highest good is what you shall receive. This is what you do. And for the light workers and star seeds out there that I know that a lot of my brethren and sisters have those challenges, and they've got these desires about their powers, etc., etc. Don't worry about that. Don't
I
worry
have a
about,
question.
oh. Okay, all right. Go
I just
ahead,
wanted to
sweetie.
ask,
Yes, dear.
I've done these ceremonies before, but usually during lunar events.
Uh-huh.
I've never heard that explained about the paper, so thank you for that, about the direction
Ah,
that you fold.
you're
Um,
welcome.
yeah, I wanted to ask you though, since we're going into the eclipse, where that's a major like clearing
Uh-huh.
of old, do you think this would be a good time to do it before the eclipse
Yes.
actually comes in, maybe early in the
It,
morning?
it's a good time to do it now. You can do it more than once if you like. Um, I'm probably going to be on the air on Monday from 1 to 4 while the eclipse is taking place. It depends on the feedback, et cetera, that I'm getting from my sentinels. But if you, I know what you're saying. There are people who they wait until the moon is in
Mhm.
trajectory and they go out and do it with the moon, et cetera, et cetera. Remember what I told you about the moon not being real?
Maybe I
So
have to read.
however you decide, however you decide to accept the uh, the holographic image of the moon, it's okay. I'm not excited about it. I think it's funny actually. Hmm. Uh, but and as far as the sun is concerned, if you've listened to me before, you know that that's a portal. Remember, remember, uh, and I don't know how to reintroduce this into a conversation, Caroline. You may want to have me declared after this one, but I did see the two suns on the day that Sirius came through. I was not alone, uh, and so I know that there's much more between heaven and earth, Horatio. But it's really up to you. I don't do the moon thing. As far as I can remember, I've never really been a Moonie. Conducted uh I've conducted drumming circles, come to think of it. Yes, I have. And I've made my own drums and participated in them as well. But I've still never felt the moon calling like some people do. Um I don't know why that is. But it doesn't really make a difference. It is your intention. What is your
Yeah,
intention? Okay?
thank you.
And yeah, what is your intention? Whatever your intention is with this, and they speak upon it in the Zohar. They speak upon it in Christian scripture. Even a person who is illiterate, has no idea of what the written word says or means, it if their intention is pure, they can do the exact same thing that anybody who has gone through. Okay, now before I say this, I want my sisters and brothers who have gone through all of the training that they've gone through to become spiritualists and mediums and shamans. Don't, okay. You remember who I am. I love you. You don't have to go through all of that to be a spiritualist, a medium, or a shaman. Okay. Um, it depends upon your intention, where you direct your intention, and how once you receive that direction, you go forth. Because you can have all the gifts in the world and you just stand back and observe what's going on around you. You don't interact. Or you can have none of the gifts developed yet and still go in and do whatever it is. It it is from within. And Caroline, you and I, we beat that conversation up earlier about me trying to uh, position myself to just share so much information. It bottom line, if the person isn't ready to receive it, they're not going to receive it. Period. You could paint it on the side of a barn, okay? And if they're not ready, they're not ready. However, if they're ready, you could hide it as many places if you as you like. You can bury it in the ocean. They will find a way to find it. Okay. Um, I can use myself as an example. For years, I wanted to learn about the Kabbalah and to learn how to recite the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic. I grew up with that desire. I could not find anybody that would teach me once I became an adult. And I never gave up. And eventually, I ended up, I can recite it and a couple of other things in Aramaic, but it was my desire because it was something that I thirsted for. So if you're thirsting for it and you know what or how it makes you feel, you will bring it forth. It is just, it's amazing what you will be able to do. And you do it from within. I talk about these tools like the burning of the paper and the dressing in the white, all of that is tools. The incense, the sage, the frankincense, all of that is tools. What most people have forgotten, and I think for some reason that I'm supposed to help them remember, don't ask me why, is that we are the tool. We are, as they say in indigenous American uh, information, we are the hollow bone. Well, they say it in the African indigenous as well. We are the hollow bone. We're getting back to remembering how to facilitate our bone from within. And the heart chakra right now, in case you haven't noticed, it's a little closed for a lot of people right now. And I think, and I don't watch television, I don't do news, radio or television, but I know that there is a tightness right now around the heart, not because people are bad or that they have bad intentions, but because they've simply forgotten that they have an option. And I know that I know about all the classes to do this and that. And yeah, you don't need them. You don't, this is why I keep prefacing. Use your own affirmation in this. If you get the feeling that you would like to see something done in a different way, however I mean, I used to teach people how to construct their altars and I stopped because it really depends on what your intention is. If you intend to have it so that you can acknowledge your ancestors only, you can do that. If you want to blend your ancestors and whatever deities or da 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 that you worship or pay attention to. If you want to combine that, you can do that. You can, if you want to build it outside under a tree or put a shelter, whatever you want to do with it, that's up to you. It is your intention, your altar. To tell you the truth, when you go to the mirror to fix your hair, take a deep look, take a long look and a deep breath. You're looking at your altar right there. You're looking at the face of God right there. And so, whatever your intention is, when you decide to direct your intention, is what you're going to receive. This is just like, look at it as a grid if you want to help you get the lay of your spiritual land. But none of it. Here's where I'm going to catch it. None of it is necessary. None of it is necessary. Okay, okay. None of it is truly necessary if you can sit down with yourself and find that silent space, that space within, and regulate with your higher self. You don't need anything at all. Oh, and as far as the selenite is concerned, for those who I have made wands for, which there are quite a few, uh, there should be pieces of selenite in your wands if you're going to do this particular ritual to bring about this energy, because this energy is not going to stop. It's increased right now, this time period from the 8th of August into the 26th, actually, of this month, that there is an increase in the power of the energy that's coming through. And so, what this ritual can help you do is to bring the force of that energy into your heart space. And from your heart space, you can, and please be careful what you're saying during this time period. Be careful what you say anyway, but especially during this time period, what you think will materialize right before your eyes. So be careful what you're saying, be careful what you're thinking. As my mom always used to say, words are things. We had a strict code in our house. You didn't just say anything or wish anything. You chose your words very carefully because they will come back to you in any way, shape, or form. You'll recognize them when they start coming back, but they will. So, as far as the selenite is concerned, because of the power of the selenite at this particular time, it will reflect energies. Um, if you're suffering with any particular challenge, physical challenge or spiritual challenge, it's a good thing to have your hands on the selenite. You don't have to. I mean, I've got a lot of selenite around me, so I don't even think about it. I sleep with it. But it is a reflective energy source. The selenite itself is alive, and so it's absorbing this energy that's coming in right now. If you want to put the selenite in the sun, if you've got pieces, put it in the sun. It will absorb the energy faster. But whether or not you put it in the sun, it is absorbing the energies now, and it is a tool that will help reflect this energy that's coming through for your highest good. Keep in mind, whatever you do, to focus on that which is for your highest good. Please. Nothing nothing on a lower frequency at all. Just don't think it. If you can do the cancel in your mind, that's a good thing. Because that's where the power is within you. Okay. So if you think of it this way, here you are kind of like a Hercules type individual. Is that a good example? You have this enormous ability, strength, and possibility. And so you go and you stand and you lean on something that is delicate. and it goes down. This is the connection I'm trying to make, I guess, where your mind, that powerful part from within you, conceives even the smallest thought that is not yours. You don't need it. It's not bright. Don't do it. And all of a sudden it shoots forth and it lands out of your mouth. Oh my God. You've started like a domino effect, and it's unnecessary. There's nothing wrong with saying positive affirmations to yourself. One of the things that I teach in some form, I'm not going to say that I've basically stopped teaching metaphysics for now, but one of the things that I do stress is that you make up your own affirmations. Sit with a mirror, look at yourself, and write down the most positive things you can think about yourself and about your life. You don't have to rhyme them or phrase them any kind of way, but assist you in keeping your mind from going, what is it they say in AA? Using stinking thinking. I never did care for that phrase. However, it is appropriate at this particular point in time. Okay, so we're past the 8:30 hour. I did say I wasn't going to do these things for more than an hour for a while. Um, what is the last thing to recognize in this ritual is the ability to heal yourselves. And this is a very important part of the energy that's coming through because again, it's initiating heart energy. And to initiate heart energy, you must have love, starting out with the love for yourself, taking it up to the love for divine source within you, and sharing it with everyone, even people you don't speak to, even people that you stop speaking to, uh, brother-in-laws, whoever, sister-in-laws, whatever. You cannot maintain a spiritual path and not have love at some point. And yes, I know about all of the things that have been prophesied that's supposed to be taking place next month, and this and that, and all the stuff that goes on. And yeah, I trust me, people, I know. You don't want to know how I know. Bottom line, and I think I put it in, I wrote it down somewhere and sent it out to somebody. If you can hold love within your heart, even for a 24-hour period, just for everyone, you can eradicate more negative entities, spirits, energies coming from people than if you stood and whacked them down with a lightsaber. And I'm speaking from experience, having been in battle a time or two. So keep that in mind, that the love from the heart, it connects to divine source, the love of this divine source. And then you will feel this glow that comes about with that. And you will recognize and begin to feel that, that exaltation. Okay. So to end this particular ritual, I'm going to suggest, again, it's up to you, that you surround yourself in light. The light that the white light is very favorable. We've got the violet flame. It's also a very healing energy that you surround yourself with, or the golden light. And actually, I visualize the gold more than the white, but that's, we don't have time for that explanation this evening. But either of those three lights, as long as it's a light, just surround yourself, envision yourself in the light, and within your heart, take in that this is a light that is generated from divine source, creator of all creation. And just feel the warmth of that light. Accept and connect with that light as a part of your being, because you are a sovereign. You are. Oh my God, if you could realize just how magnificent that you are. Wow. And you can end it with a prayer if you like. I would suggest sitting, just sitting in the silence for as long as you can. And then drink lots and lots of water, because you would have observed a lot of energy that it's going to dehydrate you a bit. So you need to rehydrate yourself. And then, if you like, do it again on the 21st. Uh, Whenever, I suggest, whenever you feel the need to get some clarity on what you're doing with your intention. This is why I don't subscribe to full moon, new moon. To me, it's all. I'm sorry, it's all the same. Uh, because it is all the same, really. What is important is your intention in this sameness. And so, my dears, Caroline, you've been speechless the whole time.
That's because, guess what? We
Why?
spoke so many hours. Hold on. And this is not the end of my 24-hour day.
Okay.
I forgot. I have to make a phone call to Thailand. There's an 11-hour period. So that means
Oh my God.
I'm going to have another long talk. You know, that person we spoke about at 11 p.m.
Hi. Okay.
And
All
it's
right.
9 a.m. their time. I forgot about this. It's a
Oh,
Thursday, like in the East, out there in Asia. It's, oh, I,
oh yes. The student that the lady that wants to be a student of mine from the Philippines. I suppose this is a good time for her. I don't know, because she wanted to listen in, and we couldn't decide on when it would be a good time for her to listen in. I'll just send her the link. That's all.
yeah.
But so you don't have any questions then?
No, I'm a genius.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
hey, no, no, no. You are.
I'm just
I
kidding.
claim. No, I claim that with you. You're a genius.
No, no, no. Any questions I have, like right now, it's so much is going on in the world right now that it's just, I think we need time, to be by ourselves a lot more because as soon as you open a magazine, a newspaper, the internet, nothing can fly by that's negative, all this negative news going on in the world. So I try not to get, I don't even pay attention. I just know what's going on, just by the titles, but
Mm,
it's just kind of like too much for human beings can take so much on this earth. We could only take maybe two or three things, what we call maybe challenges, and that's all we can handle, because anything after that, it's just our minds just get combobbled with so much information. So I think right now what's going on in the world on the outside, for the spiritual workers, we need to go inside. We need to do like your right now exactly what you're saying for the 21st of August. That's a very important date.
yes.
Until I actually think until next season, the fall, I think, unfortunately, for humanity, this confusion and the fear the fearmonger that's going on. It's all fearmonger, by the way, by program. But I think that we just need, in order for us to have peace, we need to tune out from the outside. Not that we don't care. We obviously do care because we're praying for everything to, clear up. I do believe that in the fall, things will clear up a lot more
Mm,
because of the energies that are coming through, you know.
exactly. Exactly. There's no coincidence that the four planets in retrograde and
Yes,
the Lion's Gate
eclipses.
and right and the Monday. That's no coincidence. It is a design
Yes.
has been put into place. And since his energy is coming through, now is the perfect time to take advantage of it. So we redirect it through to the heart to help open up the heart chakras and bring more positive energy into fruition. Um, if I didn't say it before in the beginning, I'm going to say it now. Activated charcoal uh, would is a suggestion also. Um,
Hmm.
I just I'm going to fast probably on Monday. I just came off a 7-day fast. Um,
How was it?
oh, then
Wait,
I need to do more of them. Is how it was. No, but no, it's something that Spirit called upon for at that particular time, and I'm joking around about that, but uh, yeah. Anyway, um, so what we're doing right now is we're signing off, and in signing off, Sherry, you don't have any questions?
hi, Cherry.
Okay, uh, that's that's good.
Nope, I'm just saying, yeah. Well, no, I've been doing some really, really inner work, like really deep the last couple of days.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's just really activated the energy. So I'm just kind of buzzing off of that. But it was interesting. You mentioned about backing off on the healing because the show that I tapped into, a caller called in and said that a lot of people that normally are healers, there's like a pause period right now. And
Yeah.
I think she said that there's just so much coming in right now that we're supposed to be going in and to kind of pause that healing. So it's interesting you said that. I kind of backed off from that because I think that's a general what I'm getting for this time period right now. So that's
Well,
what I've been doing, is much more
Carol
inner.
Caroline mentioned that people can only take so much at one time.
Mhm.
People don't think about the fact that the people that they go to for readings and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, they need some space too.
Yeah.
And I know people that they take on the world, and so after a while they get burned out or they start collecting. That's a major problem with the healers that are in the States. From what I understand, in Asia and in Africa, there is more of an understanding of how to to manipulate the energies that go back and forth. But here we have not been taught the correct way to deal with it. So we take on a lot of negative energies and we don't know how to expel them. And so it builds up in us to the point where, okay, we need to take a break or, it, for instance, when you do Reiki, when you practice Reiki, or if you practice Reiki, I know you've taken Reiki classes, when you process that energy, and I'm speaking for all of the Reiki practitioners that I know, you should be energized when you're finished. You should not be tired or sleepy or needing to go fold under a bed. If you are, you're not processing the energy correctly. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't come up with the wands. The wands came to me from the universe, and I went ahead and put them into action because I was getting energies back from the people I was working on. Because in Yusui Reiki, you touch and as close as you can, unless someone has a challenge with feeling your hands. And when I was doing that, I could feel the energy coming back into my hands from the person, whatever their illness was. It was it would come back to me, and I took it to Spirit, and Spirit said, "Well, look, you don't have to touch. Just direct the palms of your hands over their auric field." And that's still I was still getting feedback, and so it was like, okay, use these, and they showed me the selenite wands that I use now. They're long pieces of selenite wrapped in copper. And I was like, well, where am I going to get those from? And they were like, just make them. And so that's what I did. I made them, and I've given them away to people that I know work in the healing modalities like Reiki and Qigong and whatever, to assist them in assisting the healing process of other people, because it's not the intention of the person you're working on that you pick up whatever is bothering them. And it's not your intention that you send it back to them, or that you pick it up and take it home. You take it and you put it into the mother, Gaia, which is what I do with the wands. I direct them towards the ground and I click them 3 times. Yep, Wizard of Oz deal. And that's it. And then I go on to the next person. And people, I get all sorts of commentary on, wow, what did you do? Those things, da, da, da. And I say, let me remind you, it is not I, but the Christ within you who does the work. So thank you very much, but it wasn't me. Because that's that we exchange energies, we connect to each other with cords. However, the Christ consciousness within us is what does the healing. And we can call upon that. And the closest I can come to explaining it is that when people see it and feel the wands, they click with the Christ consciousness within themselves. And it's like that consciousness gets to work, and they clear themselves and make themselves feel however they feel. I don't have anything on my mind when I'm doing that work except thank you, God. Next. Thank you, God. Next. This is all I'm thinking about. I'm not trying to like, uh, oh yeah, I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna heal. No, because I got to work on healing Sharon, and so any healing that I'm going to be doing is keeping Sharon in line, so that Sharon can be able to be a vessel that's not going to crack up. And so, in the States, we do not really hold. We don't know. And I try to teach my students this, and I try to associate with people who are aware of this. We don't know that we're even practicing Reiki the wrong way. And so, and I think that's intentional as well. And it's one of the reasons why I run my big mouth sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I'm gonna stop it because we're like we've lost Brother Vaughn, and so I guess he had to go in, but that's okay. What we're doing next Monday, I'm going to be on the air more than likely from 1, maybe from 1 to 4. I'm going to see what Spirit's got going on, because I want to take a look at the eclipse as well. And so I won't be on the regular 7:30 in the evening. I'll be on early in the day, probably doing a fast and the ritual to help seal off some things and bring other things into focus. And so, ladies, I thank you so much for
Thank
your
you.
participation for this evening. And uh, you guys are awesome.
Helpful.
Well, you guys are brilliant. And I'm going to
Indeed.
close with the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic,
Yes.
and then I'm going to hit the bowls. But this is a blessing that I'm sending out for every single soul, whether they tuned in or not. We are all connected, and so I share with you from my heart the love that I receive from the heart of God. Abun deba shmaya nekide shamak tete melkuto nebetsavianek aikana deba shmaya afiara avlan lakma desun kanan yomana washbuklan aubain wakdehain aikana Dafkanan Showokin, El Hayabin, Welataklan, El Neshuna, Ilapatsan Nandisia, Mito Lilaki Melkuto, Waala Watash Bukto, El Alam, Amen. Amen.
Amen.
May, may the four angels of light and love surround you
Bless
forever and ever and watch over you and yours and those you hold dear. God bless you and keep you. I am, we are. Om Shanti, Shanti, Namaste, and good night, ladies.
Thank you. Good night. God bless you. Both
God
of you.
bless you. God bless you.
Bye, Sherry.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Sharon.
Goodbye, my dear.
Oh, au revoir.